Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Mike here with an unboxing for a couple things. Last unboxing I did was for a Blackout Edition Blue Yeti a few months ago, which is actually the microphone that you're hearing me on right now. The Blue Yeti has been a trusty friend through and through, and I highly recommend it as a excellent budget microphone. It's worked out great for podcasting and streaming on Twitch, which has been great, but I wanted to get something that was going to help out a little more with background noise. I record in my bedroom and I stream in my bedroom, so background noise is definitely an issue. You know, I have to go through quite a bit to, make sure that, all the fans are off in the house and that there's no laundry being done, because that really comes through big time on the Blue Yeti, which is a condenser mic, which is actually going to be pretty awesome if you are in an environment where there is not a lot of background noise, but it's not going to do so great. We're in a normal environment like where I'm at, like I said, in a bedroom. There are other options to go with to try to isolate a lot of that noise. There's been a lot of people online who create little homemade setups where, a tub with some mattress foam, things like that. But I decided to spring for a new mic setup. I have two of the main pieces here. The other two pieces I don't have would be a very boring unboxing, so they've not come in yet, which is the shock mount for the mic and the preamp, which I went with the Triton Audio FET head over the Cloud Lifter, the CL1. Most everything I saw was putting the FET head over the Cloud Lifter in regards to the amount of gain needed and for the mic that I purchased, and ended up really just being a lot less expensive. The FET head off eBay was $89.99, whereas for the most part you cannot find a Cloud Lifter less than the retail price, which is $150. So both of these items were purchased off Amazon. The first thing we're going to open here is going to be the USB audio interface. As you can see, is packaged inside of a brown package, which I'm sure the real box is in there. So you can see here we went with the Focusrite Scarlett Solo 2nd Gen, which was purchased off Amazon for $100 flat, I think $99, I'm not sure. So we'll go ahead and get this guy open, which is packaged very tightly with lots of tape. Not sure this is supposed to open there. Yeah, okay, let's go here. And so, as I suspected, there is another box inside of this box. Which, whatever. Not a big deal. So there we are. Scarlett Solo 2nd generation. I went with this one because you really you'd be hard pressed to find a review that has very much of anything negative to say about any audio interface from Scarlett, or from Focusrite, I should say, of the Scarlett line of audio interfaces. This guy here is the Solo model. The Solo, pretty much, the one you see a lot in reviews and on YouTube videos, is going to be the Scarlett 2i2. Which is basically the same thing as the Solo, with the exception of the Solo is designed, as you can see, for one microphone input, whereas the 2i2 has two inputs. For what I do, I really don't ever foresee the need to have two microphone inputs, so I went with the Solo, whereas the 2i2 is $150, and like I said, essentially the same thing. Hopefully there's not too many microphone nerds out there that would correct me on that, but for the most part, for what I need, this is going to work just fine. So, you can see it comes with a lot of software, which is also very cool. I'll go ahead and get that out, or try to get the glare out. But you got Ableton Live Lite, Pro Tools, which is I think a more condensed version of the purchase version of Pro Tools. and some other stuff. But I think these are the two main guys that really help. A lot of people use this for music recording, and so that's where I think this particular bit of software comes in handy, or maybe it's this one or the other. But basically, it comes with a one of these is a recording software similar to something like Adobe Audition or Audacity, and then the other is, and I don't remember which one is which, so forgive me, but the other is more of like a audio interface on your that you would use on your computer to adjust things accordingly. On the back, you're just looking at some specs. Turn your computer into a recording studio today. Let's see if we can get that up there for you. Let that focus. That's not going to do it. So there we go. This is our easiest way to record professional quality. Anyway, I'm not going to strain your eyes there. Okay. So it has inputs for a microphone, guitar, and then your studio monitoring headphones, or your cans, as everyone calls, the cool people call them on YouTube. And then outputs for studio monitors, and then your USB. Of course, I'm mostly for, like I said, podcasting and Twitch streaming, so no need for studio monitors. Let's get this guy open. And there's no tape or anything on here, which I guess is why it's packaged in the brown box first. So here you get some information as to what needs to be done if you're on a PC or a Mac. Drivers do need to be downloaded prior to this guy getting set up, from what I understand. I have read some reviews that state that plugging it in without the drivers for some reason can totally screw everything up. So just a piece of information, but basically some quick info on getting started. And this looks like a serial key of some sort, which is for, looks like it's the code for downloading all of the software included. So this is something you definitely want to get registered. You know, everything you see for the warranty that's included, which I believe is a 1-year warranty. Let's see if I can get this out of here. Included is a red USB mic. Very cool. Don't know that I've ever seen a red included, but you know, it is called the Scarlett line of audio interface. Have some important safety instructions, which I'm definitely going to read in lots of detail in every language, I assure you. That's pretty much it. We'll go ahead and ditch the packaging for right now, and then on to the bread and butter. So here is the interface itself. Lots of very strategically placed tape. I always tell people I want to know where they're purchasing the tape that is included in these things, because that stuff is heavy duty. Go ahead and slide this out. This thing right here is what you want to sprinkle on a salad. It goes, I'm kidding, of course, do not eat that. They got to put that warning on there because there's lots of children opening up audio interfaces. So here is our bread and butter. This thing is very, very pretty. So you have a nice metal finish. This is metal up top. You have on the back, this is, you know, like I said, your studio monitors, which we really won't be using. And then here is the USB out to the computer. This is your XLR mic input, and I should say I went with an XLR mic, which is pretty obvious, I would assume, by this point, versus the Blue Yeti, whereas it's USB. So I wanted to go XLR, some more options, something for, and I'll get into that in just a bit. But your XLR input, your 48 volts of phantom power, your gain. Now the cool thing about this is you're going to see some lights light up here around the knob. You're going to be green for when you're good, and when you start clipping, which is basically when you're too loud, it starts to turn red. So very cool. And then for your volume knob for your mic monitors, all these knobs feel very sturdy. They don't feel very loose at all, which is very important. And then obviously where you're looking at for what do you want to hear, your line or your instrument, what do you have plugged in. and then direct monitor on and off, and then the plug for your cans, air quotes. Put this thing on the table and it does not move. Okay, I mean, I really got to give it a good amount of nudge to get it to move, which is very cool because you're going to have a giant XLR cable plugged in here. Not giant, of course, but for a desk, I mean, you're going to have this big thing plugged in, and you don't want this thing to move around a lot. You want it to sit nice and back on the back of your desk. So, you know, you plug this guy in, and stupid, I'm plugging in the wrong side. Obviously, I'm a noob when it comes to XLR mics. But I'm going to have this big guy plugged in here. I don't want this thing to be sliding around all over the place. I don't want it to move when I start touching the knobs. And so, anyway, I'm not sure how that comes out, but there you go. Nice and easy. Again, Focusrite, Scarlett Solo. Very well reviewed audio interface. This thing is very pretty looking. Looks going to look great on my desk, and it's going to get the job done for me. So we'll move all this off, and then on to the star of the show. Now, I watched a whole ton of videos, read a whole ton of reviews, and what it came down to was I was really torn between the Electro Voice RE320 and the Rode Procaster. Both are excellent microphones, and both would be considered professional mics by any standard. Something that you would see in a studio, recording studio, a radio station. At the end of the day, based on all of the sound tests that I watched and all the sound tests that I listened to, I ended up going with the Rode Procaster. This bad boy is a pretty looking piece of equipment, and from what I've seen, this is going to be a pretty simple unboxing for this guy. There's not a whole lot to it. The two pieces that I'm still missing to be able to finalize this setup, the main part being the Triton Audio FET head, because this guy does need lots and lots of gain. The gain coming from the Scarlett Solo will work, but you're not going to get a good sound. It is going to start, you're going to have to do a lot of work in post processing to get the sound the way you want it, whereas the Triton Audio FET head is going to do that work for you while you're recording, and it's going to make things a lot easier. If you watch any review about a mic like this, especially the Procaster, you are going to see that they do require that preamp, the either a FET head or a cloud lifter, which are pretty much the two that you're looking at. Being available, the FET head being the much more affordable option, which I went with. So hopefully that comes in soon. You can really only find it on eBay. Believe it or not, it's not on Amazon, and if it does show up on Amazon, it's usually way overpriced because it's coming from another country. So eBay, $89.99 is pretty standard. You see it everywhere. So on with the show, the Rode Procaster. This is a dynamic microphone. Okay, this is a professional quality mic. Dynamic is going to be very sound isolating with background noise, which is what I really wanted. Now, again, the Blue Yeti is a great mic, but background noise, it does not do so great. I've got a lot of things turned off here in the room to do to be able to record here. I've got the ceiling fan turned off. You know, I've turned off my PlayStation. I turned off everything around because this thing will pick all of that up. And I'm also recording in OBS right now, which has some sound isolating going, or some noise dampening, I should say, where the noise gate is set pretty high to where it doesn't pick up a lot of that stuff. But again, that's going to impact the sound that you end up getting in the end. Now, of course, in OBS, this is not sound recording studio software, so you know, you get what you get, what you pay for, which is absolutely free. So let's get this thing open anyway. I know that's what we want to see. So, and again, like from everything I've seen, this is going to be pretty simple. But here we are. This is the clip to get this onto your mic stand. Now, I am using the Rode, God, I cannot remember the name of it, but the Rode desk microphone arm. I think it's the Rode PSA-1 is what it's called. So this is definitely going to work out here. But I am getting a shock mount, spider mount, which is coming in. And is designed specifically for this guy and the Procaster and the broadcaster. I'm sorry, the USB podcaster. and the Broadcaster. So won't really need this, but I might set it up anyway just in case. You have this guy here. Now this little guy is very, very tiny. You can get up in there and see. But what it is it goes on the back of the where the XLR cable input goes, and it's supposed to prevent it from coming out on accident. As you can see, as it's clearly demonstrated here, that, you know, will not happen. Where yank, right? Some very, very good artistry. You've got an instruction manual. Hey, you plug it in and you use it. What else? What do you know? And then you have this very cool sticker, I love Rode microphones. Right. I may put that absolutely nowhere. So that's pretty much it for our box. 10-year warranty from Rode, who trust me, I've done my research. This is very, very going to be very, very satisfied here. So 10-year warranty, internal pop shield. So that's going to deal with your pop, pop, and your pss, pss, things like that. And that's pretty much it for this box. So here we go. Comes in this nice little leather pouch. The EV320 comes in a hard shell case. You know, I'm not really going to be moving this thing around. A lot of people say they prefer that over this guy, but I mean, I don't understand why you would need to carry this thing around with you. Now this guy, you know, I've read and seen videos describing this, and what I'm talking about, again, another delicious garnish for any meal. Everyone talks about how heavy this is, and you know, you don't really know how heavy this thing is until you have it in your hand. So this is a thing of beauty, I'll tell you that much. Made in Australia, that's where Rode is based out of. This is a front address mic. Okay, so that means whereas the on a Blue Yeti, for instance, is a front address. So that means where you're going to be wanting to put your sound is going to be right here. This is a front address mic. So that means it's going to need to come right here. And this is where your internal pop shield is. That was actually a little loose. Huh. So this is going to sit on my desk kind of at this angle. I know that doesn't really do a whole lot for you because you can't see where I am. But it's going to come, my voice is going to be hitting right here. And it does need to be pretty close. So when speaking into the mic, I'm going to want to be about this far away from it to right here. Which is, you can't really tell with depth perception with the webcam, but that's about a good 3 to 4 inches away. That's about how close you want to be. You know, you can see there, Rode Procaster. This actually comes off. This is where you will mount the microphone. That's actually where this guy goes, right around here. You take this off, and that's how that gets mounted on. And then your XLR input is there on the bottom. But anyway, this is going to be a mic that I will use for years and years to come. And like I said, very, very happy with the purchase. I can't wait to get everything going, plugged in. Fortunately, I won't have a sound test to give you what this guy's going to sound like, because I'm still missing a few pieces. Like I said, right now you're hearing me on the Blue Yeti. That's going to be a wrap. Can't wait to get this thing going for podcasting and Twitch streaming. Thank you so much for watching.